What is up, everybody? This is Titans Rossi. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We got a great show lined up for you. We got Titans Time podcast on the show. We got the Power Hour coming in about 30 minutes or so. Like I said, I really appreciate all the support so far. You guys have been amazing. It's been a heck of a preseason. A lot of things going on in the Titans world. And we'll break it down tonight. We'll get into it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to the channel. All right, guys. So I'm going to bring in my guest. This is Titans Time Podcast, one of the members of Titans Time Podcast. And what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good, man. It's good to have you on the show. I know I remember seeing your YouTube page. I know you broadcast probably a lot of places. We'll get into that. I remember seeing your thing like a while back, and I'd watched a couple videos, and it's just been a while, and I've seen you on Twitter and stuff, and I went and checked out the channel again the other day, and I was like, man, these guys are good. I'm surprised. I don't know why I haven't been watching them. So, but yeah, I'm glad that we connected, and I'm glad you're on the show, man. And just tell us a little bit about your podcast, where you guys broadcast, what you do,
Yeah, and thanks for inviting us to come on the show. Wish Tanner could be here with us too, but like I said, his schedule's been so crazy here lately. I knew that it'd probably be a long shot if he could come on. But we have our YouTube channel, Titans Time Podcast. We have an audio version of the podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and a couple others. Same thing as the YouTube, just Titans Time Podcast. Twitter is Titans_time. Facebook, Titans Time. And then our Instagram is Titans Time Podcast. And yeah, man, we need to start getting into the live streaming like you and some of the other guys. That's something that we hadn't tried out yet, but like you said, I've been seeing you on Twitter, be starting to be pretty active, and went and checked out your channel whenever you messaged us, because I don't know why, but for some reason I just went blank about. I don't know if it just hadn't popped up on my YouTube yet, and went and started checking out.
I started like a month and a half ago, so 7 weeks ago, something. So.
But yeah, I went and started checking out your stuff. I was like, man, I made sure to subscribe to you so I could watch your videos and not miss them. And yeah, you do great work too, man. Even, hey, 7 weeks into it, I'd say you were probably ahead of where we were when we first started up, because we started up early in 2020, like February 2020. So after the Super Bowl, everything. So when we started up, there was nothing going on at the time. It was really scratching and clawing, trying to come up with ideas for shows.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. And I started, like I said, I guess about maybe 7-8 weeks ago, and I wanted to get to a certain point before I started doing live shows. I think I waited till I had about 300 subs, and I started right like when training camp started. So
right.
I wanted to have something to talk about,
right.
not just the same old. And there's a lot to talk about now. So
there definitely is.
So yeah, it's going to be a good show. I mean, we got some things, like I said, some things to talk about. Obviously, we're playing the Bears tomorrow, and it's nationally televised, so that's pretty cool, even though it's a preseason game.
It is. I know you were at the preseason game against the Buccaneers, and I was a little bit jealous because at the time we were down in Orange Beach, Alabama, and I was telling my wife, I was like, man, we just need to get tickets and go on down to Tampa.
Yeah.
But we get to be at the game tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, that's awesome, man. And it's a heck of a drive from Orange Beach. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's almost the same amount of time driving here to Nashville as it is to Orange Beach. It's like 11 hours. So,
Right.
it's and what's good for me is flights from here to Nashville are super cheap. So that's pretty good. I want to get to some of the people who are in the chat so far. We got a few people watching, so that's good. Hopefully some more will trickle in here. It's a Friday night. So Friday night's always a tough night. People are out and stuff. But we do want to say thank you to the people who are here. Thank you to the people who will be coming in. Ryan Dodd, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. And Jeff Young, tighten up, fellers. Appreciate the content. Yeah, no problem, man. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I post Titans videos every week. At least I do at least 2 a week. I mean, ever since I started live streaming, I've been doing more. It's actually, I mean, a little, better because you don't have to edit as much. But like, it still is a lot of stuff. I mean, getting everything prepared, the banners, everything.
The good thing about the live streaming too is, and this is something that I think we need to start getting into. There's so much going on right now every day that I think right now we're putting out one podcast a week.
Yeah.
And we're trying to cover everything from that week so far.
Yeah.
And like you with your a couple videos a week and even live streaming, you can cover that day. And
exactly
with as much as going on, that's really good.
Yeah. And so we'll just kind of get to what I got lined up here for the day. And I wanted to get this over first because people have been talking about it all day. Last few days, 104.5 to Zone, Buck Rising, all them guys have been just slamming it, talking about it all the time, which I understand. But we all know the little mini COVID outbreak that we've had. You guys touched on it in your show today. And the list is on the screen. Obviously, Vrabel was wanting Ackerman to, which I think he did for one day. Basically, Ackerman was the head honcho at the practices. He was kind of, I'm sure they all worked together, but he was named by Vrabel as his favorite. And there's some names on here, obviously, that are big deals. They're all big deals. We don't want anybody to be sick. But as far as starters, and all these guys are going to be okay. They're in great shape. Most of them had the vaccine, so 97%, or have had it before and they're immune. But the big names, obviously, Ryan Tannehill. I consider Swaim a big name too, just because of the lack of depth at that position. Harold Landry. McNichols is he's vying for that backup spot. So this is really going to hurt his chances. That's the unfortunate thing about this COVID thing is last season we didn't have a preseason, So you had guys like Mason Kinsey, guys like that who didn't have a shot at all to prove themselves in games.
Right.
And so, I mean, anything you want to touch on with this?
And we hit on it in our show, Jeremy McNichols and some of these guys, you have like Ryan Tannehill, who we know he's going to be on this final 53-man roster. Harold Landry, we know he's going to be there. Swaim, we know he's going to be there. Like the main thing with him is, like you mentioned, the concern of the depth at the tight end position. But Jeremy McNichols, really, this couldn't have. I guess it's a good time, if you can say that, for it to hit, because it gives these guys time to heal up before the regular season because of that extra week with no other preseason game. But at the same time, it's the worst time for some of these guys because McNichols, who last year was, I consider him a pretty good piece last year since Evans got hurt, and he come in and he played well for us. But now this year we have Sargent, who is he's come out and been pretty dominant in his performances, and McNichols not being able to play tomorrow. That could seal his fate of him not being on the team, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely think it could, you know what I mean? And obviously Sargent has been playing really well.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I mean, I would almost think they're going to have to bring up somebody. They probably already have
Mhm.
as far as a running back because, you know, Darrington Evans, I don't know what his status is.
Right.
And they're going to have somebody tomorrow. I'm sure they have. If y'all know, you know, put in the comments. So yeah, they're going to need somebody there. They can't. I mean, I guess they could run him the whole game, you know.
Right.
But who else do we have? We have McNichols, Sargent, and is there any? I mean, other than the
Hill.
fullbacks. Oh
Brian
yeah,
Hill.
Hill. So they'll probably switch it up between him and Hill.
And that's what I'm thinking is
Yeah.
it'll probably be down between those two because depending on what happens with the cut down to the 53-man roster, and you know, while we probably won't see that the Titans making really final cuts until Tuesday because they're going to have to see what happens with this COVID reserve list. I mean, there's no other way around it. But if Sargent comes out and has another game like he has the past two games, he's probably going to jump McNichols there, and because just something tells me that Evans will have a spot on the 53-man roster, and I believe if he was going to be like on injured reserve or anything, they would have already put him there.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's probably almost ready to go. You know, I mean, I'm sure he will be by the season, but
right.
The thing is, like, I'm not sold on Evans. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of people say he's talented and this and that, but like, just haven't seen much from him. And like, and the thing is, too, a lot of these guys haven't. And a shout out to Clowney Super Bowl out here. I wanted to get to that real quick, but Titans time, you guys should start going live on your channel. There you go.
Yeah. So hopefully we can work something out this year and get that going.
So there you go. But anyways, a lot of these guys haven't had any time playing together. Like the starters, I get it. Julio Jones, AJ Brown, they're all superstars, and with Julio, I'm a little concerned about just because I hope that injury is not something that's like, lingering or something that's going to be just keeping them out of games and out of time and stuff. I don't think it will. Who knows? You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So we'll see what happens there, Jeff Young says excited about Molden. Think we got a steal in the draft. Most definitely. That dude is playing lights out, he reminds me of Finnegan a lot. So it's going to be cool to see how he plays this game, to see if he keeps that level up. Titan Upload, what's up, man? And this channel is a part of the Titan Upload Network, proud member of the Titan Upload Network. So please tighten up that like button. Y'all go follow Titan Upload too. Clowney Super Bowl says Laurel Murchison gives me Senderic's Marks vibes. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good thing, is it? I wouldn't think, right? I mean, he was kind of a bust, wasn't he? I like Murchison. I don't know. I think he's starting to play. I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna improve.
Right.
Titan Upload. What's up at Ryan? So I guess he's talking to Ryan Dodd there. So I think you got some people in the house tonight too, man. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we'll get to some other things here, and you touched on this on your show. Important to note, not all these players and coaches have tested positive. Some
Right.
of them are, just they've been in contact, so they got to keep them out per NFL things. Titans have 97% vaccination rate up to this point. So, anyways, we'll kind of jump off all that stuff because, like I said, people have been beating it all day, and we know the deal. They're going to get better. Hopefully, we don't have another one. It sucks that it seems like we're the team that always has like the first outbreak,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know there's
And,
other people who've had it too.
well, and that's like, and I guess this was the best way I knew to put it. We had a guy comment on our video today about how he thought it was kind of fishy how the Titans handled the COVID protocols last year, and then even this year he just thinks something is fishy about it. And my response to that was, I mean, really, with the time that we're in, we know that the Titans are 97% vaccinated or they have the antibodies for it. And with the league cracking down this year, and we've seen how strict they are because they've already started fining some unvaccinated players for not following the correct protocols. I was like, if the Titans done anything that the organization thought was outside of the protocols, we would have been hearing about it by now. Whether the organization was getting fined or players getting fined, like it just so happens to be the Titans again that are having the outbreak.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they would be too, and I think the league's probably gotten better at it. I mean, as far as learning how to adapt, just like we all have. You know what I mean? We've all had to adapt and overcome. Every person in this world has been affected by this thing. Everybody.
Right.
Maybe not some person, some indigenous tribe somewhere who doesn't know anything about it, but most people know about this thing, and it's affected you in some way, shape, or fashion. I don't care who you are.
And this could literally happen to any organization. The chances of it happening are just as good, if not better, than the chances of it not happening because other teams have had players or coaches test positive.
Yeah.
And they just happened to get lucky and no one else tested positive or was in that close contact.
Exactly.
So, it could easily, a team could have someone test positive tomorrow and a week later we're sitting here thinking like, they have 9 or 10 guys on the reserve list.
Yeah. Let's get to more of these comments here. Clowney Super Bowl. Most people forget that Jarrell Casey didn't really break out until his 3rd season. That is true. I kind of wish we could add Jarrell back, but that's just me.
Right.
Titan Rob. What's up, Titan Rob? Thanks for tuning in, man. And we got some more people trickling in, so that's awesome. Tighten up, y'all. Ratings really needs a bounce back game tomorrow, and that is true, man. I don't know if you guys know of No Flags Film. You guys in the chat, I know a lot of you've seen him on my show a couple times, but that dude is a freaking genius. Like have you seen his stuff?
I don't think I have. I need to go check him out.
You need to check this guy out. So I think he's been around for a little while now, maybe 6 months or something. And shout out to No Flags if he's tuning in. But James is his name. But
all right,
he does basically breakdown videos of players and like individual players. And this guy will watch film for a film of like 2 seasons of each player. I mean, he really digs into it. He actually showed an editing clip on Twitter in hyperlapse earlier, and it was crazy. I was like, dude, that's insane. I'm not even trying to touch that.
Right.
But he broke down the preseason game. He's been doing these preseason breakdowns, and it was phenomenal, man. I would suggest anybody to go watch it. And he broke down Ray Dunn's at the end for like 3 minutes. He spent the most time on him, and he played awful. Like, I mean, I was at the game and I saw him getting beat a lot, but I mean, when
Right.
I watched his breakdown, I was like, holy moly. Like, and two, I mean, they kept moving him around and all that, which I think that's, I know they're trying to see where he's playing at, but just, I don't know, man. I just feel like you need to kind of keep him at one spot just because he's young, but
Right.
it takes guys time to develop, I mean, guys like him, they played at small schools. Um, like James said in his video, he's never even faced somebody the caliber of talent of Joe Tryon that
Right.
he was up against in Tampa. And Tryon was just, all over him. I mean, just
Right.
beating him. And he's never faced anybody of that caliber, so it's going to take the guy time to develop.
And I've said it before. These rookies, all of them are going to have their welcome to the league moment, and they're going to have some setbacks and everything else. You'll have guys that come in sometimes that they are just flat out ready for the league.
Yeah.
But like you said, moving him around so much, and I can understand it because you go back and look at last year, how things happened with our offensive line getting injured, how deep we got into the depth at some positions. I can understand wanting to move him around and see if we needed him to, could he fill in at this position?
Yeah.
And it would be one of those things right now after this last game. If he did, he's going to have to step up really quick, or it's going to be a long game for him.
Yeah, and if they keep him at guard, I mean, Saffold's getting up there in
Right.
years, and I mean, on my Madden season, when at the end of the season he retired, so I don't know,
Right.
but Ben Jones retired at week 8
Uh,
during this season.
hmm.
Yeah, I was 4-3, doing all right. I was
Right.
simulating most of it. I played like the first game.
Right.
And it shows a clip of him in the locker room with Rabel, and he's mad because like we're not like undefeated, I guess. He's like, I thought we were going to be a championship team and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, we won 2 straight. Like, come
Right.
on, man. And they give you the option to try and convince him like
Uh-huh.
to stay, and he still left. I was like, dude,
Right.
So I hope that's not like a premonition.
Yeah, let's hope not, because losing your starting center middle of the season to him retiring, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, it was weird, man. Titans Turner is in the building, and I got something to show from Titans Turner, and I was gonna start a new little segment on the live streams, and basically just because I get people on Twitter send me messages and stuff, and friends too, but especially on Twitter, and it's from this community. Like that's one reason I harp on subscribing and stuff. It's not just because I want subs or whatever. Like, having more subs is nice because you get a bigger audience. A lot of
Yep.
people interact. It's that's just the nature of being on YouTube.
It
But
can boost you up and let other fans
exactly.
find your channel.
But to me, like, it's about getting involved in the YouTube and Titans Twitter community, because I was talking with you about this before the show, but like I moved to South Florida a couple years ago, so I don't know. There's no Titans fans down here. I mean, it's nowhere.
Right.
And so this is how I started meeting people. I met Raul Garcia. He's been on the show. I met him. He lives 15 minutes. That's because of the Titan Upload channel and the other YouTubers out there. And then I met Sin City Titan through this community. So it's really cool, man. You can get involved. You can meet people that you typically wouldn't meet, and so that's why I say subscribe. It's just it's a really cool community, and Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's an awesome
and you
thing.
can get so the more people you meet and get to know, you get all different uh opinions on things, and maybe someone like commenting on the video, they can comment something that we haven't even thought of, and it's gives you something where you can sit back and be like, that they make a good point on that. Because I know, like, when me and my brother, there's most of the time, because obviously we grew up together, everything else, we can be on the same page about
Yeah,
things or think the same. And it takes someone on the outside being like, bringing up a comment or commenting on our uh, videos, something different. And we're like, we take a step back and, they make a good point.
yeah. So, like I said, Titans Turner sent me a message earlier, and I just wanted to post it. It was a very good um, message, just about his opinion.
All
And
right.
here it is here. So, Titans Turner's thoughts. So, I'm going to call this little segment Titans Rossi fan take. So, every so often, I'll do something like this. If you guys want to DM me on Twitter, I'll do this for you. I'll post this on the screen. We'll make it a topic of conversation, and we'll talk about it. So let me take this off here. So, anyways, with the players on the COVID's list that are locks to make the roster, that opens up at least 3 more roster spots if they are still on the COVID list when cut down days roll around. It's just like having them on IR, so we can at least keep a few players off the waiver wire until the guys get off the COVID list. I'm really hoping Kinsey makes the final 53-man roster. I think he definitely deserves it. But at least this way, if he doesn't make it, we can keep him off the waiver wire, because I think he'll be snatched up by another team pretty quick. So that's just a little positive from the COVID situation. And so, yeah, I thought that was really cool, man. And yeah, it's true. I mean, we can now, I guess we have a little cushion,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the positive out of it. What do you think about Mason Kinsey?
I think that he has made a case for sure to be on this team. And unfortunately, I know we mentioned this in our video we put up today. It's just, I mean, it comes down to what the coaches want to do, because we think he deserves to be on this team, but what's his role going to be? Because
Yeah,
we know that the Titans like having, for the most part, bigger receivers that can obviously go up and make plays, but also the blocking. And then you have Chester Rogers, who the return game for him has, I feel like, solidified his spot as being one of the receivers kept, just because you have the long punt return, then you have the long kickoff return that got called back. And then he's been showing up too as the slot receiver. But like I said, Kinsey he's led them in receiving the last 2 games. He's making plays for them.
yeah,
But with Rogers edging him out in like the special teams, I don't know how that affects him, I
yeah.
guess. Because we're looking at the Titans probably keeping, what, 6 receivers? I think that's the number we've been throwing around.
Yeah, 6 or 7. I guess it just depends, Like, a lot of these guys are really talented, so
Mm.
they might not want to let go of them.
And I made a case for him of, what do you do what's the Titans' backup plan if Chester Rogers gets hurt?
Exactly.
Because that is for sure how, Mason Kinsey could solidify his spot on the roster, because he's been, I feel like, the next best guy
Yeah,
for, and like I said, the only reason I think Rogers has him edged out is because of special teams.
yeah,
So, you look at it, and if Rogers goes down, and my brother made a point of, as far as the returners, Darrington Evans has done some of that, and we've seen in the first preseason game, but can he stay healthy to be able to go out there and do that?
Yeah.
And I think that could be Kenzie's way on the team is if the Titans decided we need to have two of these guys that can do this in case one were to go down.
Yeah, and I agree with you on Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers' punt returning ability is pretty exciting to watch. I mean, we haven't had a decent punt returner, kick returner in, I mean, really like a consistent guy since like Mark Mariani or something,
Right.
like, I mean, we've had guys here and there that showed flashes of being able to do some stuff. And speaking about Mason Kinsey for a minute, I wanted to play this clip, and I played it on the last video, but it's pretty cool. And we were in the end zone at the Tampa Bay game, kind of in the corner, and we caught this. So check it out. There it is.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! Wow!
So you hear it right there, and that's me and Sin City Titan going 8 nuts,
Yeah.
So that was a cool moment, and
right.
They gave the ball to his mom, which was on the far. We could see him do it and everything. So that was really cool, And we'll get to some more of these comments, and we got another guest who's going to pop in here in a second, and I'll introduce him in a minute. Let me get back to some of these comments here. So Fernanda Medina, love you, Rossi. That's my wife. Shout out to my wife. I love you too. She's so supportive, man. She never complains about me doing videos. Like she's awesome, man. Like she's always supported anything I do 1,000,000%. So shout out to my wife, man. She rocks. Awesome. And she's a heck of a singer. So let's see. Mr. Weezer. I think Mason Kinsey should make the roster, but I heard the coaches like NWI more as the 6 receivers is true. I'll let you take that one.
And like I said, I think this comes back to, the bigger receivers. I mean, I don't know really how else to put it, because we know at the top of the list you have AJ and Julio. Then you can say Chester Rogers. Josh Reynolds is a guy that I threw out. I mean, that's an interesting one, because 1-year deal, under $2 million. I think he got hurt again earlier this week, if I'm remembering correctly. My brother is high on him and thinks he's for sure locked up, but I'm still not completely sold. I mean, if he can't be healthy, that's another way some of these guys can make the team is, an unforeseen guy that we thought at the start of training camp would be a lock, not being a lock. But as far as Nick Westbrook, he's a guy that I've kind of put at that 6th receiver spot. But you also have Des Fitzpatrick, who rough start to camp, rough first game, didn't have any targets, I don't believe. But now he's starting to turn things up a little bit.
Yeah, and they do like Nick Westbrook. He's been here since last year. He's good on special teams. That's a big deal for these guys trying to make this team. Ryan Dodd, I think he's talking to Upload there. Clowney Supergirl, what do you guys think about Clowney's comments? Actually, that's funny you said that, Clowney Super Bowl. Hold that thought, because I have a whole freaking deal. I got a whole little section just for that. I even made an overlay. I made graphics. I was that passionate about it, so we will get to that. And that's funny you said that, because I didn't think a lot of people read that, like about the guard thing. And this goes back to when he left the Titans. He really ticked me off. I even wrote, and I'm serious, I wrote for Fan to Fan Network. If you guys haven't checked that out, I don't write for them anymore just because I've started doing this, but that's how I got into this YouTube community, because Titan Upload knew I was a songwriter. So I guess he thought I would be a good sports writer. I don't know. But I did, I love sports and I am a decent writer. So I started writing. It was a really nice website, Fan to Fan Net, where I got the link to the description of the article. I wrote a whole freaking article about Clowney, like about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, before we go any further, we're going to bring a guy in here. He calls himself the Power Hour. His show is the Power Hour, and really, really cool dude. He had me on his show a couple weeks ago or a week ago, so I figured I would return the favor. And this guy has good takes. He broadcasts all over to Twitter, everywhere. I'll let him explain all that, but let's bring him in. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
How you doing, Titans, Rossi?
Good, man.
Not too bad. How you all doing tonight?
Good. I'm glad to have you in the house. I enjoyed being on the show, and let the people know where they can find you.
Well, everybody, if you're looking for my channel, I'm all over Twitter. You can find me on Facebook at the Power Hour 615, and I also have my own YouTube channel at the Power Hour. So check it out anytime you want to.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And he does shows every week. And we need to get you out there, man. We need to I pump you out there on Twitter and stuff, but y'all need to check him out. Like he does really good work. He's consistent. So check out the Power Hour. He's got a freaking awesome name. I mean, that's a cool name for a show. So mine's not very original. I just slapped my last name on the end of the Titan. So there you go. Anyways, so what's up? Titan Anderson is in the building. Let's give him a shout out. Y'all go check out Titan Anderson if you haven't yet. Dude's been around for a long time. He's one of the OGs of the Titans YouTube world, so we got to give him some love. And y'all go check Titan Anderson out, definitely. Sin City Titan is in the building. What is up, my friend? Team Kinsey, let's go. And give a shout out to Sin City, man. He's been with me ever since I started. Before I started, we're buddies. We talk probably every day, at least text message about something Titans related or whatever else, So he's my boy. So tighten up. Let's see, tighten up here. Season is almost here. That's right, man. We're super stoked, super ready to go. So the next thing I kind of wanted to get into, Paul Kaharski, we all know Paul. If you're a Titans fan, you know Paul. Paul's at least ticked off every Titans fan at some point in his career, I would say.
That's an understatement.
I mean, maybe there's some Paul people out there who just think he can do no wrong, but
I don't see him wearing any t-shirts anytime soon.
And actually, I'm not hating on Paul. You need a guy like that. You need a guy like that who's reporting on the team, somebody who's just going to ask the questions, even if they're just completely dumb questions. You need a guy like that to ruffle the feathers. And it is funny to see him and Vrabel go back and forth. So that's a trip. At least it's entertaining. So I made a little thing earlier, and this was something Paul said about Vrabel. It was basically what Vrabel said during the press conference. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. PK's hot takes. So I had to put the picture of him there, just so everybody could see him again.
There's one in man right now.
So anyways, he said today, what's hurt by Mike Vrabel? What is hurt by Mike Vrabel saying who will be operating as head coach and as the controls at the controls Saturday night for a preseason game? Why can't the fan base know that? Season ticket holders are forced to pay for it. it's terrible customer relations on a curiosity that has no, I think he meant to say no real bearing. And then somebody responded to him, points out they could worry that a named coach could pop a positive test between now and then, which makes sense. He's allowed to say something like that instead of acting like a huge state of secret. And then Paul always responds to people. Like, I've got into it with Paul on Twitter before. We've had a little page-long thing before. Like, he loves to prove his point. And, like, if you really strike a nerve in there, like, he will respond to you. So if you want to get a response from Paul, try and strike a nerve. That's my advice. You know, not that I did it on purpose or anything. You know, but then he said in response, Vrabel, there's no. Oh, maybe that's what Vrabel's saying. There's no fail safe. We proved that. We want to maximize our ability to stay safe. So yeah. So I guess that was him. That the middle one was Paul responding to Brad. I don't know. I'm not sure how Twitter works yet completely. Anyways, so I kind of agree with Paul on this one. Maybe I'm going to take the high road here, fellas, and I'll get y'all's advice. I'll get y'all's opinions on this. I kind of agree with with Paul, because I'm like, it is true. It's like, you know, throw the people a bone every now and then. You know, like Vrabel never does that. Vrabel's like, you know, it's all secrecy. It's all this and that. You know, it's like, throw the fans a bone. You know, people are paying. You know, and I love Vrabel as a coach. I think he'll probably go down as one of the best coaches in Titans history, as far as the Titans being in Nashville. If he can get to a Super Bowl, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think it's like, you know, why not say who's going to man the helm? What is the problem with that? Just throw a name out there. Like, okay, Ackerman's not going to be there, so Shane Bowen, you know, Schwartz, Hazlitt, you know, just say a name. Like, to me, what's the big deal? What do you guys think about
that? Power Hour, I'll let you go first on this one.
Well, honestly, I'm with Vrabel. And I say that because I don't want to give my opponents anything to use against me. What's some of the best coaches that have ever been in the league? Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, Bill Walsh. And what do they have in common? They kept their opponents guessing. They didn't want you knowing what they were doing. It was a situation of, hey, if I tell you too much, they're going to find out. Especially in this day and age where there's media available to everyone and on everything. So I feel where Vrabel's coming from. I'm not going to give out any kind of information that's going to compromise what my game plan is going to be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm with Vrabel on this point too, because for one,
2 against 1.
It's a preseason game. You look at the situation. It's a preseason game. So why does it, I guess, necessarily matter going into this last game who the coach is going to be while Vrabel is out? And plus, if he names a coach right now, say things don't go well, even though it's preseason, say the team comes out and doesn't play well, then you know it's going to be a bad look for whatever coach he named at that time. So, you know, and I think the other guy that, you know, Paul mentioned how maybe they're scared that if they name a coach, they're going to pop up on pop a positive tomorrow morning or something and then not be there. So just have your guys ready, whoever it's going to be. People can find out when the game starts if it's that big of a deal. And as far as, you know, Paul is always digging for more from Vrabel. And like Power Hour said, Vrabel is very secret. He's not going to give up anything, especially to Paul. So
don't let your right hand see what your left hand's doing. That's right. Vrabel style.
Yeah. The Titans and Truth says Belichick in. So, but yeah, no, you guys make a good point. And my point was like, it's a preseason game. Who cares? I think that's kind of what Paul was saying too. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think, you guys probably are right, that he is like that. That's maybe that's why he's a good coach too.
Plus for his look on things, this isn't just another game for him, and it matters, especially they're trying to fill depth.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see who's going to fill these slots as playmakers and contributors. So every game to a coach counts, whether it's preseason, whether it's practice, whether it's scrimmaging. Every one of them counts.
Yeah. And Titan Anderson says, I like that. Power hour. Well said. So there you go. You got another person that agrees with you guys. Nobody's probably going to agree with me, but hey, it is what it is.
Sorry, we've got to outnumber you on your own show. That was not planned.
It's all good. No, it's all good. No problem.
Tyler and I didn't get together and plan this. I promise you.
That's why I love having different people on the show, man. Get everybody's perspective. We can't all have the same opinion. That would suck, right? Mr. Titan, like I said, you guys go follow Mr. Titan. Tighten up. Let's go hit that like button, y'all. Man, the Power Hours beard is sexy.
That's why my wife married me. So
yeah, it's the beard. I knew I liked you for a reason, man. It's got to be the
It's
beard.
got that aura. It just brings you in.
What's funny is you remember when I messaged you and I said, "Are you Santa Titan?" Because
I remember that.
Because somebody posted something and I don't know what it was. If they were, I don't know why I thought I was like, I wonder if that's the same guy. Like that's just like his Twitter name or something.
He caught my burner account. That's what it is.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, he does have a beard. He does kind of have that look, maybe it's really Santa Titan. You were probably like, what the heck, dude? Like, what's wrong with this guy? Anyways, Titan Anderson said, let Luan be the coach for the last. Hey, I'm down with that, bro. That would be funny, man. That would. I don't know how the game would go, but
it'd be a fight before the game would happen.
Hey, I can tell you how it would go. Every play, run left.
Yeah, exactly. We just hope that Ray Duns is not
that damn hat just gave away our game plan.
Yeah,
exactly. Just hope Ray Duns is not there at left guard and see what happens. Jeff Young says, not concerned. Schwartz or Hazlitt can take the reins, no problem. Yeah, definitely. That's the good thing about is their depth at coaching. They got some guys who have been head coaches in the league. So
you better shake Jim Schwartz's hand when you're done, though. We've seen what happens.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh learned the hard way on that.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy, man. So tomorrow night we're gonna get down to the top 10, right, of the NFL players top 100, and we know whose our players are there. Ryan Tannehill at 83, Jeffrey Simmons at 78, AJ Brown at 62, Julio Jones at 29. Where will the King rank in the top 10? And who got snubbed? And down below there, if I can get this little thing off of here, I added Corey Davis because obviously he was on our team last year and he deserves to be mentioned in it. So yeah, basically, where do you guys think that Henry will land in the top 10? Is he going to be 5, 6? You think he'll make the top 5? We'll start with you, Tyler. What do you think?
I think he deserves to be top 5 for sure. I mean, 2,000-yard season and back-to-back leading the league in rushing. But it's tough because even though the players vote on it, some of the other guys that are in this top 10, you get the feeling that the players are going to put Henry outside of the top 5. I mean, he's a Titan. And I think Mr. Titan put 7, and I think more than likely he'll end up 6 or 7.
I'd agree with you, Tyler. I really feel that his high would be 6, low would be about maybe 9. And it's unfortunate. It feels like, just being a Titan is almost like carrying a scarlet letter. But at the same time, it's like you look at what he did last year, ran for over 2,000 yards with an offensive line of no names, basically, and it still doesn't get attention. And it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got a great opportunity at trying to do it again and being, I think, the 3rd player only to do it since Terrell Davis. Wow. So realistically, Derrick Henry can have a very special season, and I expect it. So to me, it really doesn't matter where he gets ranked. I mean, I'm like just a player's perspective on it. It's like, I don't care about the rankings. At the end of the day, I'm all about that ring.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And Titan Anderson says, if he doesn't make top 5, I'll be making a video that shows why I'm rated R. Yeah. And if y'all don't know Titan Anderson, one of his monikers is I'm the rated R. I don't Titans YouTube. I'm sorry I'm butchering that. But yeah. So I'm sure. Me too. I mean, he deserves to be in the top 5, obviously. I mean, he deserves, arguably, I'd say he deserves to be 5 at least. Mr. Titan says 8. Ryan Dodd says top 5. Obviously, we know where Titan Anderson stands. And, so I think realistically, y'all are probably about right, maybe 7. He should definitely be higher than what he was 9 last year, I think, right?
I think he was 10th.
Was he in the top 10 last year?
I think he was 10th last year.
Okay. Let's say I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, if one of y'all in the chat could look it up or something and post it, what he was. I want to say he was pretty far up there. Maybe I'm off on that. But yeah, I mean, I think he should definitely be up there. I think, too, like Titan Anderson said he was 10. Thanks, man. So yeah, 10th. You were right. Power Hour. So, and these other guys that got ranked in there, Ryan Tannehill being number 83, I think that's a definite snub.
That's as far big as snub.
Yeah,
the ranking where he's at. Jeffrey Simmons 78. Like, I don't know where he ranked as far as defensive tackles go, or what he plays. I guess he kind of plays in tackles sometimes, but number 62, AJ Brown. AJ probably should have been like top 50, I would say, just based on his skill. Julio Jones, 29. Some people say that was a little too high considering he was hurt and he, had a limited amount of playing time. So hopefully all those guys will, play up to their potential this year. I think, AJ is going to absolutely just kill it this year if he stays healthy. So we'll see what happens there. I'll be interested to see it tomorrow night and see where they land and everything. Of course, we'll be watching Titans game, and they're broadcasting it live. So that I'll be able to watch it on TV, regular TV down here, instead of trying to weasel my way into some freaking streaming program or something and find a way to watch it because NFL Network has a monopoly on the whole ordeal. But that's a whole nother rant. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Follow these guys on YouTube and on their respective platforms, podcasts and Twitter and Twitch and all that stuff. Tyler at Titans Time Podcast, the Power Hour. So these guys are out there putting in work, just like a lot of the other YouTube guys. And shout out to all those guys too. You know, all the guys are putting in work for our team, trying to get fans over from the dark side. You know, get them to join the boys in two-tone blue. That's what we need. And the more fans that come to us, the better. So yeah, shout out to all those guys too. I wanted to show this too, and these are really cool. And you can see in the picture here, they're going to be wearing the all navy blue uniforms for the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sweet, man. Like, I almost wish that was our home uniforms. Like, period.
I'm definitely a fan of all navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too.
I think it's pretty cool, man. So we'll get to a couple other things. We're about to hit in an hour. And if you guys could, if y'all want to stay a little longer, if you got to go, I understand. I know you've been on here for a while, Titans time. So, yeah, if you want to stay, man, you're more than welcome to. We'll go for another 15 or so, probably.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right.
I had my nap, man. I'm good. Let's go.
Awesome, man. So this is what I wanted to get on earlier that Titans Turner touched on. Normally I would be doing more breaking down of the game, but it is a preseason game. We know that the backups are going to start, are going to play a lot. Hopefully some of the starters, I think they'll play some of the starters like on defense like they did before. It would be good to see the offensive line out there playing some together as far as some of the starters. And Mike Vrabel did say this week that he would like to get everybody he can in the game. So, I don't know what that means because we never know what he means, obviously. But we will see what happens. So I wanted to kind of get on this subject. Titans Turner brought it up earlier. And the Clowney thing, we're still talking about Clowney. I guess I'm feeding into it, It's probably what Clowney wants. He's probably watching right now and saying, like, I know he's
having hard enough trying to work against tackling dummies. I'm not really too worried about him.
He's probably tuning in, even though he probably doesn't even know who I am at all. So, but anyways,
he knows you now.
Yeah. So this is what I call rant of the day. This is what made me really mad today. It's what made me, write a whole entire article on Fan to Fan Network about this. Let me see here. Let me go back to the comments because I saw something earlier that I meant to post. Where is it at here? Somebody had said something. Oh, let's see. Mr. Titan says, I miss Clowney. I don't know. Somebody said something like Clowney is a clown earlier. Yes, I agree. Anyways, let's get to this. So, Clowney was talking about, I guess, playing a guard, playing up against guards or whatever. And this was like I don't know if he tweeted this or he said this, but he said, we love that matchup, that guard position. They're not real athletes down there. And this goes back to last year for me, because when he left last year, he complained about being double teamed. He criticized the Titans' win-loss record. He said, Browns got more, and it's like, to me, it was like,
that's a good press conference.
Yeah. But it's like, dude, you were the number 1 overall pick. Like, people expect you to be able to take on double teams. Like, you don't see other players out there, other elite defensive ends or outside linebackers who are sack monsters. You don't see them out there complaining about being double teamed, at least not to the media. I mean, I'm sure, like, during the game, you're like, man, they're double teaming me so much. But as far as like making that an official statement and saying, they're double teaming me. Yeah, I get that. They probably were because the Titans only dressed 3 pass rushers last season. But still, like, come on, dude. Like, you've been hurt your whole career pretty much. You get hurt every year, at least some point in time. you've started a couple seasons, and yeah, I was happy when he came. Like, I was excited, just like every other fan, just like the Cleveland fans are now. They're like, oh, we got Clowney. And that's the thing with Clowney. Like, it's always based on potential. Like, he's had a few good seasons. He has. Don't get me wrong. Like, Clowney has done some incredible work. But at the same time, like, you're hoping for potential. Like, you're basically basing it off potential and what he's had for a couple seasons. But it's just like, dude, like, just go and play ball. Like, quit falling over tackling dummies. Quit saying stupid things. Go out there and ball out and show the people what you could really do, because the dude is a physical specimen. It's like Javon Curse was, just that incredible type of talent. So I'll quit. I know I'm rambling on forever. I'm sorry. I apologize. But what do you guys think about Clowney as far as like him saying that type of stuff?
Power Hour.
Do you even care? Like,
Quentin Nelson would disagree with him very much, because I remember when he pancaked him when he was a member of the Houston Texans.
Yeah. I think I seen that video earlier today whenever Clowney made his comments, and going to your point about him complaining about being double teamed. Like you said, if you're trying to be that main guy, you're looking at any way to impact the game that you can, whether that's getting past the double team and still getting the sack, or you commanding that double team to open things up for someone else to come in and make a play. Like, don't complain, oh, I'm getting double teamed. You do what's best for the team out there. Like, don't worry about your individual stats of I'm getting double teamed, so I can't get this sack. And if the guards are that easy, and y'all have brought it up, he has trouble with the tackling dummies. I mean, you really expect they're not athletic at all, for real. And you want to make that comment about the guards?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. What's your thoughts, Power Hour?
I don't like guys to go out and complain about things, especially just for the sake of complaining about it. And Clowney hasn't played 16 games since 2017. In fact, throughout his entire career, he has never done that but once since he's been drafted.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's almost like he just wants the attention just to kind of hype himself up a little bit. And I get it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you really haven't done much in the last few years. Your best season was 2017. You've been constantly injured, and teams have thrown money at you, all for you to just kind of underperform. And like you said, Titan Rossi, I mean, as a first-round pick, you're expected to exceed expectations. You're supposed to be the face of a franchise somewhere, and he just hasn't been that.
Yeah, exactly right. And like Skidley Bop, that's a great name, by the way. Clowney couldn't even get a sack when he wasn't even blocked at all. He had a couple free runs at the QB. Yeah, that one where he completely whiffed on, it was like we just wanted to see him get one sack. It was like, and he just couldn't quite get there. He was like always there when he played, and whatever, moving on. But yeah, I want to give a special shout out to Sauce Monster. He had messaged me earlier this week on Twitter. He's got COVID, and we give a shout out to him. He's young. He'll be all right. But I know doesn't feel good. I've had it before. Mm-hmm. It sucks. So yeah, let's give our thoughts out to him. Sauce he's a moderator in this channel. He's always supported us, all of us Titans YouTuber guys. So yeah, shout out to him.
Good will.
Mr. Titan says, drink water and rest. Definitely.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, yeah. pass by Dexter McCluster and Gerald McGrath will be. Oh yeah, Mr. Titan's talking about his hangout. I got a hangout show at the Rudder. That's in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That's on a Saturday before the opening game. And Dexter McCluster and Jerry McGrath will be there. I think everyone's invited. Sin City Titans is about to be cracking in Nashville for game 1. Wish I could be there. I wish you could too, man. I wish you could come with me. That would be awesome. Wish we could make that happen. Mr. Titan says he's talking. Hope to see everybody there. Yi Gin T. I don't know if I said that right, but thanks for tuning in, man. Now if I see Trey Smith, Sam Clowney on his neck against Chiefs. Yeah. Sin City Titan going to have to watch the stream on replay still at work. Well, don't get in trouble, man. Don't get in trouble on my behalf. So do what you need to do.
Get in trouble on his behalf.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
This is a damn good show. Get in trouble. And if your boss says something, tell him just screw off.
Exactly.
There's more important things than work right now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Talking Titans football.
Damn right.
Exactly, man. So let's see what else I got here. So I guess we'll get into the Browns and touch on that a little, or not the Browns, the
Do we
Bears
have to?
game. Yeah, not the Browns. Sorry, didn't mean to go there. The Bears game. So the main storyline to me, obviously, is a lot of our players are going to be out because of COVID. Most of them are backup guys, but next man up. That gives the next man up an opportunity. One of the main things to me is Justin Fields is going to play the whole first half, and being our recent history with running quarterbacks, which we've done okay against some, but, it'll be interesting to see how many starters are out there on defense for us, because most of our defense is healthy, I think all the starters are pretty much healthy. So it'll be interesting to see who plays and how they play against Fields. If he goes out there and all our backups are playing and just whatever, that's different. But if our starters do play, it'll be a good test for them. What do y'all think about Justin Fields? Y'all think he's the real deal? You think it's all hype? You think we just got to wait and see?
I think he has to be careful coming in and saying after his first preseason game that the game's slow to him and then getting a wake-up call his next game. But it'll be interesting to see. Like you said, this is a good ramp-up for the defense against a running quarterback, because we open up the season with Kyler Murray, and then we face Russell Wilson. Like it'll be a good tune-up for the defense. But I think as far as the Bears go, I could see Justin Fields being the answer for them.
Yeah. What do you think about Fields? Are you high on him? Did you like him in college? What do you see out of Fields, Power Hour? Do you think he's going to be something in this league?
Well, first I got to get on Tyler because he missed an opportunity there. You got to go da Bears. It's always da Bears.
Yeah.
So, Justin Fields playing with da Bears.
I'll do better next time.
Yeah. That's all right. That's how you learn. you watch the film and you learn from the film.
There you go.
That's funny, man.
But, I have seen Fields even when he was in Ohio State, and I felt like he had the tools to be an NFL quarterback. So it's really just along the lines of Nagy just getting him comfortable in the system and moving him forward. That's how they progress. Usually you see how a quarterback's going to do in the league, usually about their third or fourth year. Then you kind of get the feel of how they're going to be. Now, as far as the defense facing him, I think the best thing they can do is just chase him to the edges. If he's going to run, get him before he gets to the bounds line, and just chase him to the edges.
Yeah, I agree, and he is super fast. Like that's one thing that he has about him. I don't know if he's I haven't really watched them that much. Honestly, I don't watch a lot of college ball other than when Tennessee plays, and that's not been very appealing lately. The last 10, 15 years, something like that. But
Oof.
yeah, it's been rough. So, anyways, but yeah, like I don't watch a whole lot of college ball, but I do like when the draft comes around. I try to dig in to some of these guys, and this year I try to dig in even more because I was more active in like Upload's channel in the pre-draft videos and stuff like that. So I think he's definitely got some skill. Aaron J, thanks for tuning in, man, and please hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. It really helps the channel out a lot, and become part of this community. Aaron J says, I think Fields is the real deal. Sauce Monster Fields seems like he's doing well. Yeah, he is doing well. If the Bears fans, they're already wanting to run Nagy out of the place. So let's see what happens. Time will tell. Skidley Bop. It's a good rookie test. It's a good test for rookies on defense. Yeah. And we'll see who they're going to play as far as starters too. We never know. They might go out there and just play the whole starting defense for the first half. We never know what the Titans will do, obviously. Field speed is a good test for the Titans defense. Fields got upset with the fans chanting his name while Dalton was playing. He made a tweet about that.
Yeah.
That just shows maturity on him.
That.
Yeah. Which, Chicago fans are pretty tough fans too. So
that they are.
I could see them doing it in Philly.
If they'll sit up there in January next to Lake Michigan just during any kind of football game, they're tough.
Yeah, exactly.
If they'll root for a baseball team that hadn't won a World Series in 108 years, that's pretty damn tough.
Yeah, seriously. That's a darn good point. Bears win-loss record 2020 was 8-8. Total offense was 22nd. Total defense was 14th. They had a good defense. Trubisky came in like, I think it was like game 9 or 10 and kind of took over. And they did well under Trubisky. They were like 6-3 when he was playing. Foles was just a nightmare. That game against – yeah, exactly. And that game against us, I think I remember him throwing a ton of passes. I think it was over like 50 passes, and but we won that game by a touchdown. But yeah, so that's kind of where they're at, and they really haven't. They've lost some players, but they picked up a few. I think was it Robert Quinn the Bears picked up. So I don't really know where they're at. I guess that a lot of it hinges on the quarterback situation. Obviously, Dalton, I don't know. He's a train wreck, man, and he's just way past his prime. I think I hate to say that about people, but I just feel like he is. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go anywhere with Dalton. They might as well just throw Fields in there and see what happens.
His best days were with the Bengals, and those days ended quick.
Exactly, and he did okay with the Bengals. He had some good seasons with them, but yeah, I mean the dude's just—it's like.
You better if you got AJ Green.
Yeah.
You better have had some good seasons with AJ Green.
Exactly, and why is Joe Flacco still playing? The
Money.
dude's won a Super Bowl. It's like, dude, why go out there and just get? It's the love of the game, I guess. They just love playing, but you're not starting. You're getting beat up, and he had a pretty good preseason game. I don't know if it was last week or the first week, but still, it's preseason, right? Matt Barkley. Oh, go ahead, Power. I'm sorry.
Hey, if you can give me that kind of money, I will let Khalil Mack sack me every play. Every play.
Just get smashed.
You don't even have to take me out. You can just tie me to the guards, and I'll just still keep getting hit.
Yeah, he's making $7 million this year. So You know,
That's enough
why
money to
not,
forget my
man?
troubles and my
Yeah,
concussions.
exactly. Just keep stacking it up. I mean, if you're going to sit on the bench, heck, why not? I guess, you know. Matt Barkley is going to start against the Bears. I don't know if it's necessarily means anything as far as the backup. I think it has a little weight to it.
I think it
but
does.
Yeah.
yeah, they're going to rotate every two like they did the last game. But Barkley looked good. You know, he might be all right in our system. I mean,
Maybe he's found. Yeah, maybe he's found the system.
Right.
yeah.
Sometimes the quarterback just has to find the system and the coordinator. Maybe he's found it.
Yeah, and to me, it's like I've never been big on Woodside. I don't understand what the love affair is with Woodside, and I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody deserves a shot or whatever, but it's like, dude, I mean, Barkley's played in this league. You know, he's been a backup pretty much his whole career. So he started some games here and there. He had a game against Buffalo that was really good. His last start where he actually started, but Titans will start more players against the Bears. That's according to Vrabel. Julio, AJ, and Henry might not play. I think they won't play. I don't
I'm
see
fine
them
with
playing
that.
at all.
Yeah. Just don't.
Me too. I am too. Yeah.
Just let them dress, let them chill, let them do what they did the game against the Bucks. I'm fine with that.
Why let, you know, if Tannehill was going to play, you know, something like that, I could see maybe AJ getting out there for a series, you know, something like that. But
The only way I want to see him on the field is for the coin toss. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only action they're seeing. They're going to go to the coin toss. That's it. You're done.
I hear you there. Taylor Lewan is pumped. He said he can't wait to see the fans Saturday. So, you know, these guys are stoked about, you know, about the fans being there. So, yeah, I guess that's we'll kind of start wrapping it up. We're getting in an hour and 18 minutes here. So I want to give you guys the opportunity again to just tell the people where they can find it. We've hit about 15 in the house, creeped up a little above that. So so that's good. You know, there's 15, 18 people watching us talk about the Titans and babbling on. So it's pretty cool, man. So so Tyler, tell us, you know, what all platforms can we find your podcast and your channel, your show on?
So our YouTube, Titans Time Podcast. If you want to check out our audio version of the podcast, App Podcast, Spotify, and there's a couple others that I know I'm forgetting, but just type in Titans Time Podcast there as well. Find us on Twitter, Titans_time, Instagram, Titans Time Podcast, and Facebook, Titans Time.
Awesome, man. And y'all check him out. They do some good work, and they got an awesome setup back there. They got like 800 bobbleheads.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. I don't know, maybe like 20 or something. So the Power Hour, where can we find you? Where can everybody find you, my friend?
All right, everybody. I'm on every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This coming Monday, I'll have Let's Tighten Up podcast on the show. Still working out what we'll be talking about, but it's going to be a damn good show. Check us out on YouTube on The Power Hour. Check us out on Twitter at The Power Hour 615, at The Power 615 on Facebook as well. And we're also on Twitch at The Power Hour 615.
Yeah, awesome, man. And yeah, y'all do some awesome work. Like I'm a fan of a lot of people's Titan stuff. You know, to me, it's like if you're talking Titans and you seem like a pretty cool dude, like I'm more than likely gonna like you and follow you. So that's just the kind of guy I am. So I like a lot of guys out there, and I want to get a lot of people on this show too. You know, just kind of keep it fresh, keep it rotating. So, you know, I definitely will be inviting you guys back on at some point. And you know, we got a lot to go through. We got a lot to talk about, to babble on about. You know, hopefully some people will watch and tune in. You know. But yeah, it'll be cool, man. It's going to be a lot of fun this season. I think, you know, this is the most excited I've been. I don't know about you guys, but this is the most excited I've been since, Kerry Collins had the 13-3 season with us.
Let's not hope it starts out as the 2009 season, though. We don't want that.
Yeah. I used to call him when he was playing bad. I used to call him Kerry Crappins.
Savage.
I did, dude. That guy used to. Did you know I read something about him that he used to be an alcoholic, and when he quit drinking, when he quit drinking, he drank a 12-pack of Cokes a day, like for a long time, or like Pepsi. And I was like, dude, that's probably worse for you than beer. I don't know as far as like your inside.
It's definitely not good for your teeth.
Right.
Sauce says, great show tonight. Keep up the good work. He subbed to you guys. He'll look out for videos. So, yeah, shout out to everybody who's been in here tonight. And we're going to wrap it up, guys. Oh, yeah, I did put the link in for both of y'all's channels in the description here below. So everybody who's watching, everybody who's going to watch here in the near future, check these guys out. They freaking rock. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later and tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten up. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, no problem, man. So, yeah, there we go. There you have it. That is the show, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna clock on out here at almost an hour and a half. We almost made it an hour and a half tonight. So, a good long show for you guys. Tomorrow, during the live stream, I will be on Titan Uploads channel at some point, breaking down the first half, and basically what's going on. So shout out to him, and so see you guys later. Tighten up. It is Super Bowl or bust this year. Let's get it.